Well, hello, everybody. It is Friday night. It is time for Guitar Safari, and I'm Charles. That's Seth. You're you.
It's time for Jesus.
Oh, my.
You didn't hear my bells? Okay? You could hear my bells were ringing. The church down there was like, "Hey, you gotta bring me your money."
I was going to say, I didn't think the opening was that bad.
No, I love it. It's time for Jesus. That song, that's actually was the song that was playing when Moses was walking through the Red Sea.
Okay, so you're saying
It was much more of a lighthearted moment than people think, as he was escaping with the Ark of the Covenant. But that's a long story.
Oh, my. Yeah. All right, so in the chat, we had Herb of Fireside Studios telling us to have a good show tonight. He's not sure whether he's going to be able to be here or not, but he made sure he stopped.
Show's canceled. Show's canceled, guys. Sorry. Herb's not here.
Herb's not here. Forget it. We're done.
We're all going to Arby's anyway, so.
And then we got Paul McNeary and a bunch of the cats here for a good time, saying hello to Sherman, saying hello to Seth Presley, saying hello to Charles. And so there we go. Hello there, Sherman. Oh, Sherman, did you get the bonus check last week? So based upon that, he did get his bonus check because he can afford that much.
Well, you have to understand that one small Red Bull for him, it's a lot.
Oh, so we've got McCallum Music in the chat. Welcome. We have Vox Guitar Rocks. Ryan of OU812 made it in early on. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you. Love your channel.
Dude, those guys are shredders.
The show, the Trans-Trem show the other night was epic. It was
Ryan.
It was
can you please buy one of those dealios that when you play guitar, it has the screen with the dots that shows your hand the deals? That would be extra cool. Not that it's like you got extra money or whatever, but that would be amazing because I want to see your shred. I can see your shredding, but I want to double see it.
And
what? Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go ahead. I did not mean to.
I was like, what chord? What? Because he plays on the Trans-Trem, and so I never ever know what chord he's actually playing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I see his hands, but then my brain can't link it up because of the magic.
I see.
So if I had the deal with that comes on the screen, that's it'll actually show F major and the finger placements and stuff, the tabs. So yeah, as it were.
Definitely cool. It is definitely cool. We have our music-in-law Ryan Hall, who released another John Prine cover. Yes. Excellent. Made my day this morning when I got a chance to watch it. So,
I haven't seen. I think I need to up my notifications with I started subscribing to too many people. I need to go through and make sure I got my.
Gotta ring your bells. Gotta ring the
bell. Yep. Don't ring my bell though, because it's annoying. I can be annoying, but just come check me out.
Keep it up. We might just have to.
Yeah. I mean, some people do just expect I don't know how to just silence it if you start to get a bunch of shorts notifications.
There you go. We got Mark's Gas Station in the chat. Welcome in, my friend. Followed by Wayne McConnell saying, "Greetings, fellow Earthlings." See? Right there.
We are all Earthlings. We're guitarlings. We're shredders. Yeah. Crunchers.
Of course. And the West Coast has joined us. Symmetry is in the chat. Welcome, my friend. Followed by Bonkers. And, of course,
what up, Bonk?
Ken from Metal Works, also on the West Coast. So we are represented across the country.
Beautiful.
We got Big Wave Dave in the chat. Welcome, my friend.
Under the curl.
We got Stephen Monspichelli.
What up, dude? There's a real craftsman.
This guy's got class. I'm just telling you.
And he's got mechanic hands. You don't want to do hand wrestling with Monch because you might lose. You might get your hand crushed.
Yeah, we've got BC Rich 581 with the coolest space collection on the planet in the chat with us.
He also gets the like Vox Guitar Rocks. They Rich. They get the
Seth, we are honored. We are completely honored because L&M Guitar Corner is in the chat. He's going to be lurking.
It's cool.
But he is with us. So Martin is with us. Hello there, Martin.
We call it lurking like Lopez, don't we, Charles?
Looking like Lopez.
Because Jennifer Lopez, she's always lurking. So it's just lurking like Lopez. It's okay.
Oh, your wife is going to kill you.
She knows.
Yeah, we got Jeff K in the chat. This guy can play.
Mm-hmm.
Caught him over on OU812 a bunch of times. Very good.
He was doing the paradiddle shreddle diddles. Mm-hmm.
It just blows my mind what these guys can do.
Totally.
Hobo Roadie's in the chat. Got to see him not too long ago at a Buffalo meeting, Water Buffalo meeting. And definitely
West Coast guy too. Yeah, he's out here too, right? West Coast, Hobo Roadie.
I think so.
And we
got Cushman NYC. Love this guy. One of the first people that I met coming onto the guitar community, so really appreciate him. Our buddy Patrick Trites is wishing us a good day.
PT. We got Cush Man grabbing on the tush man. He's like about to push man. He's like, what? I came to the right place to buy a guitar and talk about. Wait, we're still going through the roll call. Yes.
Yep. We got Martian Murray in the chat with us. Hello there. Love this guy.
Absolutely.
Octopus Years has made his way in. Hello there, my friend.
Hold on.
Wonder what his flavor of guitar is this week. I missed his live stream the other night. It's still on my list of things to watch. Our buddy Zach Thong in the chat with us.
ZT.
Gonna need to have Zach Thong on a chat with Charles not too long, I think.
That was a magical sound.
Yeah.
I can't believe you.
And then, it's my doorbell. It's telling me someone's walking by the house, casing the joint, stealing my stuff.
Really? Is that really your doorbell? That's a crazy ass doorbell.
And Blue Mox is with us. Hello there, my friend.
What up, Blue Mox? Thank you for rolling through and saying hi to us.
I can't believe we're still rolling. We're scrolling through the chat.
There's people showing up. That was great.
Guitar Man 45, Bo is in the chat. Welcome, my friend.
Got a hell of guitars. Guitar Man 45 has got a stack jack.
Well, that takes us through all the folks that are in the chat. We have 27 on with us right now.
So did they look at the topic?
We should look at the topic. So why don't you tell us about it a little bit, Seth?
I forgot. Which way did we go? We went
the
direction
talking about whether guitars, whether guitarists should be multi-instrumentalists, right? Should you know how to play more than one guitar? Does it help you or does it hurt you?
Your idea actually was better, Charles. There's no way we can carry an hour with this. That's
right. We already killed 8 minutes. We're good.
So here's my thought when I sent this to Charles, because I was thinking, man, Charles plays. I was actually telling somebody who expressed they were building a faux guitar, and I was like, "Oh, do you like guitar?" They're like, "Oh, I love guitar, but I don't play." And I said, "Well, why not?" And then they said, "Well, I used to play trumpet, and I can still play trumpet." No, not trumpet. Maybe it was trumpet. No, saxophone. And I said, well, if you can play saxophone, that's more difficult than picking up a guitar. And you already can read the notes. And I said, can you read notes? Can you play a song? He's like, yeah, I played it for a whole bunch of time. And I was like, dude, and so then I was talking about you and how quickly you're able to, do that because of the history of sight reading and all that. Mm-hmm. And so then I started thinking to myself how most, I grew up initially carrying around a guitar. But then when I really started playing, it was bass and then drums and always guitar on the side. And then I get better and better at guitar. And I'd still say that I'm as, good on drums probably as I am on guitar. I'm a little bit worse on bass than I am on guitar or drums. But, and then, singing is weird. It's like you're just who you are. I'm not good. I'm just me.
I was always that guy that, the band director would just give an instrument and fingering chart and I could figure it out. Mm-hmm. And, and I could do that on most of the woodwinds. I could do it on just about any instrument. I could even do it on piano.
Right.
To some degree with some help. Right.
Totally.
But guitar was not intuitive for me at all. I mean, there's so many moving parts within it. 6 different strings, all the frets. The single notes, the chords, all at the same time. It didn't make sense to me, right? Because you pick up a saxophone, and what the fingering is for C, and it doesn't change. unless you go up to the next octave, right? But that's the
Oh,
next thing you
there's
travel,
only
right?
one fingering for C, and it's just up higher the same fingering, and then that's all
Well,
you got.
you've got one fingering for one octave, another fingering for another octave,
And
right?
that's
And you
it.
can only go so many octaves on the instrument, right?
Okay, yeah.
And
Interesting, yeah.
and so sight reading, learning keys, time signature, keeping time can do that.
Totally.
But all the different components that go into playing guitar, it's a lot more. And I've always had huge respect for someone who just picks it up, puts on a record album, and figures it out, because that's not
Someone
me.
who's new to guitar doing that?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, then they probably just, are either just extremely gifted or musically inclined to some high level, or have put in the time to study all of the stuff, right?
Hmm.
Because it comes with time. As soon as you learn intervals, as soon as you start to really know intervals and you find the first note in a song, you'll be able to quickly navigate, and before the end of most songs, you will be able to be playing them. So, so just practice intervals. That's if you want to do that,
Hmm.
practice your intervals, because it's just about finding the one note and then the relative notes around it that the song is using. Unless it's very confusing, which some music is, but then you're getting, complicated. But I just think most of our people have guitars. Some of them probably have basses. Some of them
Hmm.
probably also have drums. Some of them have studios where they've got like all the stuff ready to go. Some of them are like studio people, especially, are more advanced, because then they're thinking of microphone placement and isolation, tactics, and all of these other elements to record what they're doing. So it's a whole nother level above just being a multi instrumentalist. Now you've got to learn how to plug in all your bullshit.
It's
Right?
like, yeah, there's you're right. There's not only the guitar itself, there's the amp, there's the pedals, there's all this, all the other gear to get your tone as well. And welcome in Eddie Fay. Just want to say hello.
That's funny when you said that,
And
Charles.
want to welcome in Randy Crooks as well, by the
Oh,
way. Sorry.
welcome, Randy. But when you said that, I went through my head that I guess that you could say that a guitarist sitting at a station with a really good pedal board is
Mm-hmm.
almost a multi instrumentalist, because each of those pedals is really going to define something. Like I would say, Ben, who's not here, he boycotting us. I know I'm joking. He's probably just busy, but he's a multi instrumentalist just because of his pedal and tone ability.
I want to share this real quick. Guitar Man 45 says all that practicing he did in the 70s, now he
Nice.
just picks up the guitar and he plays whatever's on his mind or in his heart. And there is no
Stop.
substitute for all that hard work. And no matter how much we want to in our day and age, come to think of it now, I had to work at each one of those instruments that I learned to play.
The
and
substitute for
and
hard
and
work
I, and
is
I just I want it
Bitcoin.
to come. I don't know. There's thing in me that I want the guitar to come naturally, and it's not going to. And you got to
Hmm.
find the time to put in the work.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I mean, I think that I find a lot of students when they're coming into it, they're holding the guitar wrong. So
Mhm.
that feels unnatural. Intimidation by it, because here's the thing about intimidation, because guitar, there's so many people, everybody is better than you and me and us, right? Everybody, there's always somebody better than us, so we always feel like we're not at some level, and it makes us unhappy with our level and all that. But like I've said to you a number of times, you can pick up the guitar and strum a clean chord, you sound great to someone who can't play at all.
Look who's here.
What? Yeah. Dude, I checked out his video the other day that was hilarious. Going on a trip down to Sausalito, you could see the city in the back. It was a really fun video. Creative. Great stuff. Quality entertainment.
I see that Trev is branching out into a new instrument.
What's up, Shark Puppet Boy? Yeah, he's still feeling that Red Bull. I'm feeling the Red Bull too much. He's off the roof. What was that? Couple of old girlfriends. Yep. Playing saxophone. Oh, yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, though, but here's the problem with saxophone. It competes immediately with your guitar bandwidth, right? You're both playing a mid-range instrument. You got to
Yeah.
get, nope, can't have that. Sorry. If you want to play bass, you want to play, even piano, I'm upset about. Leave me, nope, sorry.
Patrick, I absolutely love this. Guitar is not a race; it's a journey, and that was the one thing I thought about when I actually started my channel. Was this is going to be my guitar journey, how I get there, whether I go fast, whether I go slow, and if people come along with me, great. But everybody's got their own guitar journey. That's why we talk about on chatting with Charles. How did you start your guitar journey? Right?
Well, I've heard, Charles, that at the gates of heaven, when we stand there at the gates, they're going to hand you a guitar, and if you can't play Eruption,
you don't get in.
You don't get in. You're out. There's like 6 people in heaven. It's like very uncrowded. I mean, geez, that's a lot.
Wouldn't it be funny?
It's terrible. I mean, if they asked to play the horse with no name, I got you covered.
Yeah.
But Eruption, come on. You're asking too much.
I can fake my way through that one. Okay.
Yeah, especially when you're older. You're when hopefully you're older when you die, and then you're like, I've been retired for a while. I haven't been playing all, geez. But I had been playing. I set the goal to figure out a couple of songs in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I did it. So that was fun. I can play them now. Not perfect, but I'm getting there.
That's right, Vox Guitar Rocks. It's not a competition, thank God, right?
It's not a competition. Totally.
It goes back to something that OU812 said early on in his channel. It's all about the laughs, right? It's all about the giggles. It's all about the smiles, right? It's about you enjoying what you're doing.
Totally. But if somebody starts giggling around me too much, that's not cool either. Like, I want you giggling right next to me, because
we're giggling with you, Seth.
Yeah, man. If you start like giggling and it's an odd giggle, that's weird. But you can like laugh. I mean, I would tell people, don't giggle like that, bro. Sorry, it's too much.
So, I mean, Seth, what else do you play other than guitar?
I already just told you. I'm hurt, Charles. I told you about. I play drums. I started playing bass. The only thing I don't play really well, I don't play keyboards really well. But I played almost everything else. Like, and I could even do a little bit of something on the keyboard. But I would say that I'm best at drums and guitar. Those are the two deals that I like. When I play drums, I have a lot of fun because I can kind of shred and I can do all the stuff. And if I got a good kit, I can usually jump on it. And now that I've been playing a lot, like every week teaching drums, I'm in the rhythm. Usually it was like, if you don't have a kit set up and you don't play regularly, it's hard to jump in and be great. But now I can jump in every week and I'm on it. I love it.
I love this from Wayne McConnell. I sure wished when I picked up playing guitar as a kid that someone would have told me that it had no rules.
No rules. Well, there are some rules, right? There's like
right, but I get what he's saying though. When you attack it as if there are no rules, you don't hold yourself back.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah, and then try. Well, it's hard too because I remember waiting for everybody to leave the practice room before I really started to play my solos. I would crunch in front of everybody, and do a bunch of that, but then I didn't want to solo because everybody else soloed really well, and I was still terrible. I would go home and do the scales. My dad, you'll get better. I was like, I'm terrible. I think it was my timing, which was good on why I was playing drums. I played drums for so many years that my 16th note timing got very refined. So
I love this, Blue Mox. Rules with electric guitar. You mean plug it in?
Turn it on. Apply electricity. I love that the sound that we generate as guitarists is created by an electromagnetic field. That is something special. So we are doing something that, because electromagnetic fields and the resonance that they create and the harmonics and all of that is literally the fabric of the universe. And so I think that's one of the reasons why human beings respond so much to the sound of guitar, electric guitar, especially. Acoustic guitar, too, because it has the special resonance qualities. But you've seen, Charles, before cymatic frequencies displayed, right? So if
Yeah.
you do a little bit of looking into cymatic frequencies and then realize, wow, this is happening literally, if we could visualize it around our pickups as we're playing, that's pretty special. And so think of when you're hitting this killer tone and you got this chord that is literally, and it sounds beautiful. If you could see it, it would look beautiful too.
Yeah. So I love this from Hobo Roadie. There are rules, but in general, they're more guidelines, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And then Vox Guitar Rocks has a question that's more for you than for me. Is a standard drum kit better than electronic kits for learning drums, or is there a difference? Is there any difference?
So here's the thing. You kind of, as you progress, you have to have both. Just like in your guitar progression, you can start on one guitar, but as you go on, you're going to need more. So I would almost say this. Start with an electric kit because you can play it in circumstances that you'll be able to practice more. And you can play it with headphones and you can play it at different times and not bother people. But as soon as you get into it and you love it and you're like, this is fantastic and I'm staying on beat and I sound good, you need to get a regular kit too, and you need to set it up where you can make a ton of noise and be super loud and just learn how to thump. And break skins and break cymbals and break your finger and cut yourself and all of that, because that is like all part of the fun. So that's my thought on it. You need both, but start with the electric.
So if you don't break a stick, you don't break a head, you're not doing it right.
Oh, well, that's part of, yeah, I was telling this kid, like, because he only has at home electric drums, and they respond. You can turn the volume up and you can tap them kind of diddly, peep, 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 and they will respond to that. And real drums, if you tap them, they just sound silly. And so I know that he's practicing at home, but I'm like, here, when you're playing with me, we need to be hitting these drums. And then we stopped and we looked at a little bit of Dave Grohl playing drums, and we looked at some other famous, even Lars hits his drums hard.
Well, there's also that finesse with an instrument, right? You want that difference between hitting it softer and hitting it harder, to get the differences, in tone and attitude and, in emotion that you're trying to convey in the music.
Absolutely. Have you heard the song Island in the Sun by Weezer?
Mm-hmm.
That song is fantastic for displaying the dynamics from going super tight and taut on the hi-hats and then going very loose and heavy, and how the music like expands and then contracts. And if you were to watch it on an EQ, you'd see that it just gets big and then comes back in. And so that's fun to do, just like you're saying. The dynamics are... You can do that with your guitar too. Get real soft. It's better to say play soft most of the time and then have that depth in your pocket to pump it up.
I think Randy's right here. Anytime anyone gets behind a drum set, you want to be John Bonham, right?
Or Dave Lombardo.
Uh-huh.
Do you know who Dave Lombardo is?
Mm-hmm.
No or yes? You might not know who he is. He's like, most people don't know him by name, but as a drummer for many, he's
the name rings a bell, but I can't exactly place it.
Well,
right?
I know. I get it, because as soon as I say the name, you'll know. Slayer.
Of course.
And, there's a whole story behind him, because he wasn't into death and metal and hardcore. He was just into playing drums as technically as possible, and he got into that band, and just it's mind blowing, some of the stuff that he does. It's almost too much.
Well, it was like even you sit there, you go back to Phil Collins, right?
Yep. Oh man, Phil Collins used to slap the skins. He was amazing too.
I mean, that kind of talent there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, let's kind of circle back to our topic here a little bit. So, in what ways do you think being multi-instrumentalist as a guitar player helps you with learning and playing the guitar?
Well, I think other things cross over, right? You learn if you know one thing already, but for me, it's been about if you've ever watched Playing with Presley on Wednesdays, right?
Is that on Wednesdays?
On Wednesdays in Pacific time, 5:30, I use my little looper machine, my trio pedal,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes you a multi-instrumentalist because you program a couple different things, right? And it's nice to I could grab a bass and play the bass line or whatever, and then and go over and play the drums, but that's all on a little pedal, and then I can focus on the guitar and the vocal.
Mm-hmm.
Super fun, well worth those things aren't cheap. They're like $300, but it was well worth it.
And the one, and I think there's a real benefit to playing around with other instruments, especially if you're playing something that is, if you don't have a tremendous sense of rhythm yourself, and then you have to go playing around with a bass or a drum set, and you start kind of, getting more familiar with those concepts and those ideas, and the struggle to do it, it makes you more conscious about trying to keep time yourself.
Totally. And you'll know that you need practice when you play with other people or with a metronome. If it's difficult to play on a metronome, then play on a metronome because it's difficult, and it'll make you better.
Yeah.
Or with music, with a backing track, it will make you better because then you're on time and you can learn how to be in the pocket, learn how to extend your bend tones and all that, shredding stuff.
Well, I think, and I think part of it too is by understanding some of the other instruments in your band, right? You sit down at a drum set and have that a little bit. It gives you a little bit more respect for your drummer, right? It gives you more respect for your bass player, your keyboard player,
Mm-hmm.
and even your vocalist, right? You sit there and you start, and if you have that experience yourself, maybe those relationships are a little easier to manage when you look at different people's frustrations as you're trying to put something together that's special.
Or you can be completely controlling and own the band and just force them to play. Like, only know you're playing it. It's C minor add 4, Charles. God. You know what I mean? Like Prince, that was like, he would come over and he would rip your neck off if you missed a note. I'm kidding. I don't know. He was probably super cool about it because as far as I know, he was amazing. But whatever.
Did I tell you?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would love to be in a band with and take turns being the director of the band. Like everybody, all right, everybody, we were going to start with 4 songs. We got 4 people. We're going to start with 4 songs, and everybody brings a song. And no matter how stupid your song is, I'm going to give it 100% of what I got, right, towards it. And I'm not going to make fun of it until I go home. And then I'm going to do my best. And then hopefully you'll do the same thing with my stupid song that you probably hate. But then over the mutual time that we continue this, we would maybe mold them into things that, if I do this in the song, I hate it less. Well, guess what? Now I kind of like the song. Oh, guess what? I kind of like your terrible song too. Why don't we play a show?
You're going to love this.
Okay,
Vox Guitar Rocks says a friend of his said his neighbor used to drive him crazy playing drums at all hours back in the day.
Okay.
His neighbor, Neil Peart.
You're kidding me. So you could have just been putting a tape recorder out and recording that, and then nowadays you could have just been licensed that, right? Because it was all it's public domain if you're recording it from your own bedroom. That is amazing.
You never know who's next door, right?
I mean, how do you hear that information like that here on Guitar Safari? It's magical. It just falls into your ears.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, people are. It is. Life can just be funny that way.
That is a great anecdote. I wonder. Yeah. So I guess that somebody had to be next to where the Rolling Stones first rehearsed. Mm-hmm. And I got a little anecdote for you, dude. the guy that was the manager for Unjust, the heavy metal band that I played drums in high school, and just in high school, because as soon as high school was over, I bailed to Hawaii. But the manager, Rob Parker, helped to build the magical garage that was the Garage Days garage that Metallica recorded in.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew a lot about recording and knew a lot about setups and knew a lot about amps and knew how to get us shows. Jesus, your notifications are off the hook, dude, and they're very loud.
Yes, they are going to
What is happening?
they are going door to door ringing
Oh
my doorbell
man!
right
Oh
now.
what? Oh, because of the heat. Are you having a heat warning where they're either coming and they're spraying you
Well,
at your house?
it comes out. You start to get the warmer weather, and all the
Mm-hmm.
little marketing companies are sending out their minions to try to sell you stuff you
Oh,
don't need or want. Yeah,
the half off of the air conditioner checkup.
yes, something like that.
Oh, that's genius. I should start an
And
air
this guy was
conditioner
lazy
checkup.
too, because he's not even walking from door to door. He's got one of those automatic rolling skateboards.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, I would do that too. Oh wait, it's one wheel in it, like the single wheel, or
No,
the
it's
okay,
it's a one axle.
yeah,
You put your feet in the middle, kind of thing. Go.
yeah, okay, that's awesome. My brother has two of the one wheels. He got one and loved it so much. He got the best one of the next generation and loves it, shreds. But he's got hurt on it a number of times.
Mm-hmm. So,
But
Monch and Randy Cricks are going back and forth about ELP. So they're just having a good conversation. Emerson, Lake, and Palmer are having a great conversation there.
Well, come on, that's great.
So kind of jealous,
right? Well, I mean, we could talk about. So I think all of those people were probably. It gets to be a little bit weird, like when you're in a band with everybody that's a multi instrumentalist. It's probably easier when just Jerry just plays bass, and you just got whoever Ringo over there on the drums. And that's all Ringo does because he can't even make a sandwich. He just plays drums and he does it well so that people will make sandwiches for him. So there you go.
Want to say hello to Mesa Guitar Guy?
What up, Mesa Guitar Guy? What is crack-a-lackin'? So, yep. So I don't know, man. I just am thinking that most of us in the room play more than one instrument. And even if we only play guitar, as long as we're messing with around a bunch of pedals and we're doing other stuff, you're kind of multi something. And we're all multimedia because we're here watching each other hanging out on YouTube.
Well, let's get the chat moving a little bit. Let's see what everybody else plays and see maybe we have the most bizarre instrument.
Right? Or or the person that they have known to be the best multi-instrumentalist that maybe like inspired them, and or that you went and learned about them because they play guitar and then you find out that they play everything else.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I don't think Phil Collins plays guitar, does he?
No, I don't think so. But I know that we have two accordion players in the chat right now.
2 accordion players?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Who are they?
Guitar Man 45 is one. And hello, Mitch Heyman, welcome in.
What up, Mitch?
Somebody else mentioned it earlier.
What the Mitch Heyman is going on around here, dude? I got these dogs barking. Somebody walks
so
by.
I don't remember the second name, but they mentioned it in the chat earlier on. So we know we've got at least 2 accordion players in the chat.
If I had an accordion, I would play it.
I bet you Ryan Hall could play a saw.
Right? Why not?
I bet he does.
Pick it up and I would squeeze it.
So Mesa Guitar Player says he plays lap, dulcimer, mandolin, keys, bass, and all the guitars.
There you go. So that's a direct.
He's not limiting himself to one.
Right? And they help to balance each other and help your writing process because certain mandolins fill a certain part of a song, and dulcimers have a certain sound, and they have an addition and they have a place.
See,
and it's
Vox
nice to
Guitar
have.
Rock says he hasn't played in a long time, but he does know how to play accordion.
Of course he does. We could have a Guitar Safari Accordion Fest 2025 where we all play Smoke on the Water with our accordions.
See, Bo says he used to pay a mean polka back in the day.
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
still bet you he could.
I bet he
I
could play
wanna-
Smoke on the Water.
See, we know all about Bo's guitars, but I wonder how many accordions Bo has.
They make some nice, expensive accordions that were well done because people love them.
I love this BC Rich. An accordion through a wah and into a Leslie rotating speaker.
Yes. Has it been done? Yes, it has been done.
Yes.
Maybe.
McCallum Music, I am not surprised by this. McCallum Music, piano, guitars, stand-up bass, accordion, drums, banjo, mandolin, violin, and some, of course, with all those, some better than others.
Ha ha ha.
Always the case.
McCallum Music doesn't play harmonica. Ha 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 ha. I'm just kidding. You just always you play everything.
Are there tone accordions? Basic Guitar asked.
Yes, there are. You just take a dumble and you cut it in half, and then you put the squeeze thing in between, and it's a $500,000 tone accordion. Done, easy.
Randy does not claim to play the accordion. Yeah. Any bagpipe players in the crowd? That's an interesting
Randy,
one.
I mean, come on, Randy. We're going to need help. Obviously, we're going to need help. We're going to need other people there just to secure the facility.
And Wayne McConnell says he dabbles with harmonica, banjo, and the cigar box guitar.
Nice. Yep. Banjos are cool, and harmonicas are cool too, especially if you're like out hiking or you're out in the lonely. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wait. Did somebody say what they like? What I was saying? Hold on.
Yes, it happens. It happens every now and then.
I mean, I was in.
But Eddie Faye says, I like what Seth was saying about the universe and the electromagnetic spectrum. And of course, what we hear is a small slice of that spectrum.
Thank you, Eddie. Yes. So you're probably into it too. Just, So being a surfer and being right next to and in absorbing all of these impacts of waves crashing, right? So when waves crash, they send off a specific vibration, and it might make you a little dumb, might make you need a little bit of fish tacos, but it does like turn your soul into something that just, I don't know, it made me more apt to be drawn towards vibration, which I think brought me towards guitar, which then I found electric guitar, which gives you the most exposure to that electromagnetic part of it. And I was like, this is it. This is part of the key to everything is guitar, which is weird, but it actually is. When everybody gets it all figured out, guitar will be part of it.
I think Randy misunderstood the question. He says, I can play bagpipes, a bag of weed, and a pipe.
Oh, yeah. I've been playing for years, dude. I got a lot of time invested in practice.
If we go on that, he's an expert. I'm just saying.
Bags and bags of practice. You got that handled.
So Mach he says he has guitars, violins, harmonicas, trumpet, keyboards, and he is outstanding on absolutely none of them.
Oh, dude. Wait, I'm just playing the phone call in my head that other guy's going to get later on tonight from his mom. You mean to tell me all those times that I paid for bagpipe practice? That's what you were doing? No, I'm just kidding. That's great. I love it.
She thought he was getting some culture.
Okay.
But Ryan Hall has opened the mystery a little bit more. Piano or keys, bass, drums, tubs, harmonica, spring harp, kazoo, got a banjo, and he used to play mandolin.
I love how he said piano or keys.
Yes.
Because I always describe to the kids, like, you can say piano, only because I'll say, yeah, who's playing keys? And they're like, I'm like, come on, you can say piano, and piano can be proper, and that's great. And if it's a piano, you certainly want to play piano. But what we have here is a little red keyboard. So, who wants to play keys? Be cool.
So Octopus Ear says he played some of his ex's cello, and it was fairly easily. Using the bow was the hardest part.
Yeah. He was like, give me the bow and cello. I got this. That'd be fun. Oh, there's a crow right there.
Yeah.
This is ominous. He's looking the other way, though.
You know what that means.
Oh, and then a squirrel ran right by. Oh, I'm going to give you the play-by-play. There's a gangster squirrel that ran right by. I was like, get the fuck off my wire.
Armand, do your job.
I'm just saying, that was crazy. Squirrel. That actually was a live squirrel event that we could have just broadcasted it, but it was like, first is the crow and then the squirrel. I did show out my window last night, so you could have saw it from the window.
Focus. Come back. So Mason Guitar Guy, he played some tuba in high school band, but only when they had a substitute teacher for band. Everyone switched instruments, and then it was just hilarious.
Oh, they all switched on purpose? They just moved everybody one seat and said,
well, no. What would happen is whenever in band, whenever you had a substitute, everybody would just grab everyone else's instrument, and you start making a bunch of racket. And
that's funny. I never had that experience in band class. Whenever there wasn't a teacher, it would instantly break out in like rap. And like with straight up like horn lines, and like the drummers were great, and then I was one of 2 or 3 bassists, so there's somebody else ripping usually. Our band was good at Richmond High School. We were good. Can I read this one?
Yeah.
Right, Seth. It's all frequencies: audio, visible, radio, microwave, super low frequencies, and ultra high frequencies. And the thing about the spectrum of light that we can see, but we can feel tons of different light, but you can only see so much, right? Which is like a sliver. We're almost blind as far as the spectrum goes. But that's why I think we can feel a lot more than we can see.
So, the other thing Eddie Faye says, the funny thing about mandolin is it's tuned like a violin, but the chord shapes are the same as if you were playing a 4 strings and a guitar, but played them upside down.
Totally. You can change anything up, like pull the one string off the Telecaster, right, Charles? And you got something a little different. Got a little different tone. All right, a little special sauce. Totally. True story.
And let's see. And Mont says, my favorite multi-instrumentalist, Alexander Draper, playing chess with her right now.
Actually, I think I've heard Munch talk about this person before, and I did go and check out, I believe, because I do a lot of checking out, but I think she was amazing. If I remember, I don't know if he just hangs out with this, like they were like a virtuoso person. He could chime in again and let us know, but if it's, I could look it up again later too. But I remember it was in a different chat, and he had mentioned like, you got to check it out, they released a new album and it just came out, and it was something, and I did go take a look, and I was unbelievably impressed. But anyway,
gotta love it.
Gotta love it. I love that people still try. I gave up a long time ago on trying to lug my stuff out and play for a bunch of people that don't care. I said, screw it. I'm staying home. I'm not gonna do open mics anymore. I'm done. And I used to get that shot of adrenaline, like boom, But I just kind of, maybe I need to go do it again to re-spark it. But it is her. Yes, she is insanely amazing. That's great. We should be learning some stuff while you're hanging out. Give me some lessons. Great idea, BC Rich, with your tuning.
So it is an interesting conversation tonight. It's gone further than I thought it would.
Well, yeah, because people
we're still going.
All right. The
You
thing,
know,
imagine, which one are you on? Oh, wait, you're on it. Oh, yeah, exactly. Imagine, oh, wait, we're talking, now we're still talking. Imagine your atoms in your body have electrons absorbing the nucleus, playing guitar, harmonizes your atoms in your body and your soul. Boom, mic drop. Eddie Fay.
and McCall Music says violin is the hardest for him. It's so tiny, and the bulwark is super hard. Yeah, and I think, and I had been studying violin just before I started, a couple of years before I started guitar,
Right,
and
right.
I think it really helped,
Totally,
right? Because
totally.
it was the first truly stringed instrument I had really had any success with.
And drawn out tones, like some people can't extend a note. They just feel like they have to cut it off. And then they pluck it.
There is a lot of finesse with a bow. I mean,
Yep.
and it is all, you have to hold that bow correctly. You have to angle it on the string correctly. It's got to be in the right place.
Same with
It's
your pick. You got to angle your pick correctly. You got
mm-hmm.
to hold it correctly. You got to pluck it in the right place. You got to,
Sarah's
oh my,
keeping time for us.
right? She knows it. Actually, Sarah, what she doesn't know is I've been talking the whole time, and Charles has not had one moment to say anything because my mouth
I
has been
haven't
real.
said anything at all. This is my first time speaking.
The first sentence. Actually, I will say this, Charles. We're going to go back cosmic. Before we came down here, I only had a couple minutes, and I normally don't do this, so I only had a few minutes, 10 minutes before we start. But the universe reached out and it said, "You got to call Albert." Who's
Mm-hmm.
Albert? Right? Who the hell's Albert, Seth? Albert is the friend that when I moved to Hawaii, and I was a teenager, he lived in my area in Richmond, and then he moved out like 6 months later and ended up being my roommate, and like we surfed together all the time and blah blah blah. But I had this moment that was like, so Albert's owned a successful business in Oakland for many years. He goes surfing all over the world, and at some point he's like, he wants to do other things other than just own his business. I was like, Albert, you should do my job. And I just called him out of the blue to tell him he should do my job.
Mm-hmm.
And when I called him, he said, "Dude, I was just thinking about calling you." It was like you know how the universe connects?
Yep.
He's like, "I've been thinking about calling you, not about," I think it was about a different subject anyway, but I was like, man, I got to fucking reach out. And it was like, when you have that cosmic feeling and you feel it, do it. Make the call.
BC Rich says maybe a violin with frets. Well, BC, it's actually something really interesting there. When you're a beginning violin student, they have tape that they put down on your fretboard,
Mm-hmm.
and the tape is kind of just like frets. It shows you where to put your fingers. Right, you put your fingers behind the tape, and that would be like fret 1, the first fret, and then so when they put the tape on, they use usually multicolors, right? So you can eye them out really quickly down the end, right? You start with yellow, red, blue, whatever, and but basically it's marking off the fretboard for you where a fret, the idea of where a fret would be.
I wouldn't doubt that there is already developed a violin with a phenolic fretboard with LEDs in it. If we searched it up, I bet it exists. That probably
I would not be surprised. I would not,
because it would be easy to make, right? They already make the fret zealot for guitars and all that, and you're just sinking that into the material and then making the fretboard out of it, and it's a less expensive violin, but it's a great training violin.
Can you believe that Ryan Hall broke out string theory on us?
What? Yes, here we go.
Vibrations are everywhere throughout the universe, and after all, you've heard of string theory. It means everything is vibrating at a certain frequency.
Exactly. And everything is energy. And that is one of the reasons why electric guitar in particular, because you're doing a double whammy. You're playing guitar, which is creating amazing vibration, and then you're combining that, what I've been talking about is the key to levitation, Charles, is combining the somatic frequency with the electromagnetic field with the right two. That's what you got to do anyway. But not to say you're going to levitate when you do, but some people could jump very high when they played guitar, and that might be the reason why off your stack.
Well, here's an interesting parallel with guitar, right? Mom says there's an amazing violinist named Diana Di Gregorio, and she has a fretted violin, which I've never seen before. But the really cool thing is she plays eruption on it.
Oh, of course. That's perfect. Probably needs it for the tapping or whatever.
Hmm.
That's amazing. And so she will be in heaven. We're not gonna make it, but maybe there'll be two options. Do you want to play Horse with No Name, or do you want to play Eruption? All right, you got to decide. I'm gonna take Horse with No Name, my friend.
Well, if it's a test for getting in, let's make it simple.
Let's make it simple. Give me those two. Can I please get graded on a curve? Because that's basically what I do for a career. Is I grade people on a curve. So let's hook me up with that when I get to the gates, right? And why do we got gates anyway? Couldn't we get a better system? Couldn't we just have clouds that you can't walk through? Isn't that going to be nicer than having some big gates? You can design some better shit.
So if there's gates, does it mean there's a fence? Or is there
I
a
know.
wall?
And then there's
What's
there
going on
holy
there?
razor wire on the top, and then you got holy helicopters flying around, zapping people. Come on, man! I want some. Give me some clouds. Sorry.
So Sarah Swift says, I hear vibrations all the time that others don't hear. Crazy, but not.
Yeah, she's talking about my farts. And you can chime back in, honey, and just let them know that I do create some somatic vibrations that have caused things to levitate. It's okay. It's all right.
I wasn't ready
We
for
wait
that.
till minute 51 before we talked about farts.
Sarah, I'm sorry you have to deal with that.
I know. That's crazy.
So sorry.
All right.
Right? We have been joined by Dwight the Hitman Bailey. Hello there, my friend.
What up, Dwight? Yeah, and Blue Mox jumped right in and like, yep, she knew.
Randy, thank you for being with us. He is off
What
to
up,
go
Dwight?
start his weekend.
Randy.
What is on the music selection? What are we starting with tonight, Randy?
Yeah, Randy, thank you for being Handy Randy in the house.
Yeah,
We love you, man.
well, see, the thing I love about Randy is like, he puts that up on Facebook every week. What he's starting with to start off his weekend, and sometimes
Randy.
we kind of go back and forth about what bands he's listening to and what albums.
Am I not friends with Randy on Facebook? Maybe not friend me.
I don't know if you are, but I am. But
I never go to Facebook anymore.
But the cool thing is, sometimes there's a band I haven't thought about in a long time that Randy mentions, and I'm like, I go dig out what I've got, and take a walk back through my youth, right?
Totally. And Randy, I just give out my phone number so you can text me. Maybe like, what's up?
Oh, yeah. He's starting with Pink Floyd. Wish You Were Here. Damn, that's a great way to start.
Yep. Started with Pink Floyd the other day with the little ones in school.
Make sure you hit up Momentary Lapse of Reason as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I might do this week or tomorrow? I have tomorrow off, Charles, which is amazing. I've got Saturday off, and there's a festival in my little town. It's Fairfax Festival the next 2 days. So it's like a little. They close the streets, and there's bands.
So you're telling me that the music company is letting you loose on the public for a weekend?
Yeah, well, just for Saturday, and then going forward over the course of summer, I'm only going to work Sundays. So I'm going to have 6 days a week off for summer, unless I choose to do something else to make money because I'm poor. But I'm not, I can get by, but whatever.
No, you could sell some Presleys.
If I right now is a very soft guitar market. Somebody would like to buy some Presleys. I'd like to sell some Presleys. I guess I should stop being. I hoard some Presleys that I like. Like there's a few that I don't advertise. I mean, I like them all, but I hoard a few that I just haven't advertised that I should. But whatever. Play them till although I have started playing my number one more, so maybe I'll just let more go.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain number I wanted to keep at the shop, so I didn't want to sell them all. So that if you come to the shop, there's like 10 of them for you to check out, and then
you have a nice selection on the wall behind you.
Yeah,
right.
Those
of
are
Presleys.
Well, on the wall there's 6, and then there's 2, and then
on stands on the table. And so, do you have a favorite of those?
Out of these that you can see right here, right now, no. I mean, I love the red one up here is freaking amazing. It's got that Bartolini setup that's active with humbucker single, and it's got a Telecaster bridge on the strap body. and it's plecked, and it's great. So that guitar I love. All
So
those guitars are great.
Blue Mox has a serious question here. He says, "How much for that 2x4 guitar?"
Are you kidding me? Really? I'm making another one, but I feel wrong. Like I made that at school, and it has the school name on it. But I could make you a killer 2x4 guitar. You know what the thing is, Blue Mox? Yeah, let me know, because if you had a 2x4, I'd make it for you, because it was fun to do. I did this next one, and I used the joiner, so the jointer or whatever. So yeah, I got some bazooka toots. But can you please place a bit of cellophane and rice over my butt so we can get the cymatic frequency, and we can map that out when I blow it up? And it depends.
That is not a sentence I ever expected to hear on the
sorry.
show.
All right, it's okay.
Just saying.
I know. Well, we like to talk about all topics that are guitar related here at Guitar Safari. Very good.
And Blue Mox, as I recall, we talked about how cheap, but they'll work.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And Mesa Guitar Guy is just laughing it up over there.
Right. It's been a funny time with the bazooka toots, and it depends on what to eat, Charles. We had we've been having a lot of salad.
Another instrument?
I do. We had broccoli. I mean, you feed me half a pound of broccoli. What do you expect? I mean, come on, I'm a human man. Gotta fart. Whew. That's all I can do. Hey, did you guys see this right here?
That headstock thing?
Yep, I was got it there the whole time. I tried to reposition it because I had it positioned before. It was directly behind me, and I decided that that's a terrible location for it. I need to relocate it where people could see the headstock. But that guitar is going together tomorrow morning. That's going to be a coffee build. And I might I think I'm going to turn on my, that's a good idea, Seth. Why don't you do that? Yeah, I think I will, Charles. I'm going to turn on my camera like I told you. It was weird.
That'd be a good idea. Might as well.
It was weird when you go directly through YouTube versus StreamYard. I'm just saying it was weird because there was 450 views versus, whatever our normal is. But I think it's because if you go directly onto YouTube, you catch the people that are scrolling through live stuff.
Maybe so. I'm telling you, that's what it is. Much on if you go direct on YouTube, you don't have as much control over what you can do.
No, you don't. You don't have the background. You don't have the scrolling. Watching the chat is much more difficult. There's a whole number of reasons but for the fact that they put you on this automatic feed that sends yourself out into the ether, and anybody who's just looking for something new on the live, you come up in that option, which was interesting to me. Because I go very slow on my subscriber growth, but through that course of that 1 hour, I gained 8 subscribers, and then over the next day, I lost 2 of them because that's the first date syndrome.
Yeah.
They see you and then they're like,
oh
my God, what have I done? Right, and then they swipe the other.
Yeah, they sobered up.
They sobered up. I get it. They woke up in the morning and they're like, oh, what the hell have I done? So I get that completely, but I was very intrigued by that because I just think that it's interesting the way that YouTube is like, oh, StreamYard. StreamYard must be taking something away from them or something. I don't know what it could be.
I don't know. A lot. We know that a lot of folks in our community use StreamYard to go to YouTube, and so.
Yeah, no, it's like the number one thing. I've been using it the whole time. So. But it was interesting.
Vox Guitar Rock says, Seth, the local bowling alley is closing. I'm friends with the owner. How hard would it be to make a guitar out of a piece of bowling alley lane?
Oh, we could do it. We could absolutely do it. We could, especially if you get enough of it. Just get if he's pulling them up, get a few of them. We'll do it. That'd be fun. You could just send me a box of them and we'll laminate it and build it. And then if it's super, super heavy, we'll just try to make it thin and we could top mount the pickups, and just route them down just enough to get the wires down through and use skinny pots. We can make it cool. So I guess what people are saying is I should get into making bodies.
Well, Michael Krause has joined us a little late. That's all right, buddy. It happens to the best of us. We appreciate you being here.
Oh, dude, Michael, don't even trip. The replay is way funnier, and you can watch it on 2x speed. And we sound hilarious when we're speaking like when we talk faster. It sounds really funny, really good. It's very enjoyable. Mm-hmm.
That's right. Bowling Alley Lane. It's hard maple.
Hard maple, hard rock maple.
It'd be thinner though. You'll have to sandwich a bunch of it together to get your thickness.
Yeah, I just don't know how thin it is. How much of it's just a laminate, or if you pull those boards up and they're
no, they'll be solid maple boards, but they'll probably only be half an inch thick.
If they're half an inch thick, we would need 4, and we would need them to be, so you want almost 2 inches, right? You want 1 7/8 or just around that, and that's before sanding. Because you're going to sand it down a little bit, but that's what that's what the specs called for on the Telecaster when I printed out the.
Oh, mine says actually it's thicker than I think it is.
Oh, then that would be amazing. Yeah, and I would love to.
He says 3 inches thick. Okay, I'm way off.
Well, if 3 inches is too thick, we would have to cut it down. So yeah, we want about 1 7/8. So that'd be perfect. We could, what we could do is we could cut off the laminate part and get rid of that, and then just refinish tongue oil. Use like a polymerized tongue oil. My next one, I'm going to get some polymerized. This is just the gunstock oil, and it came out amazing.
It did a nice satin finish.
And I mean, look at it let the chatoyance really through.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an inexpensive cut, so. Anyway, I'm excited. This guitar will be finally together tomorrow, and then I can get it to my nephew and he can start playing.
Well, Seth, it's that time. It is 9:02. We are past our time, believe it or not.
Dude. And we 28 people, right 28 people hanging out. That's crazy. That's amazing.
One of the things I was thinking about as we were opening up, Seth, was, I don't think we really thank everybody as much as we should for coming here, right? Because we have a pretty loyal following. We range anywhere between 26 to 39 people on a given show.
But Charles, you're always like, fuck them. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, we are so lucky that just you and I, like, who'd have thought that, and I tell you that I like reaching out and just pushing the limits and trying to get together, and that we've successfully have a place where all these cool people that are much cooler than I am come here to hang out with us is so humbling. And Charles, the fact that you even, like, if somebody said, hey, this guy Presley, is he your friend? And they said it just like that, you would say, yeah. And I like that. I appreciate that. You'd like shake your head and you'd say, yeah. What did he do? Is he parked in your spot? Oh, fuck.
Well, the thing I think about it is this, Seth. You and I, we're complete opposites, but it works.
It's been
right?
said, right?
It's a lot of fun anytime we get together.
Totally.
And I certainly enjoy it.
And when we move into the apartment together and it's televised, it's going to be hilarity. Seth and Charles, no. They both got kicked out, and now they're not homeless, but they live in a truck. Sorry. Woo, and that'll be our theme music. And on that note, but make sure you guys stick around for the song. It's performed by an incredibly talented performer, from what I know, and they're managed by Jennifer Lopez. We call Lurking Lopez.
That's right. It's J-Lo Productions, isn't it?
It is J-Lo. It's J-Lo J-High.
But again, thank you everybody for being here all the time.
Can we do reverse? All right, I know we've gone long, but let's do reverse. We got Ryan Hall, we got Simtree, we got Mesa Guy, we got Blue Mox, we got Box Guitar Rocks, we got Bacallum Music, we got Stephen Monchmicelli, we've got Hip Metalworks, we got Ryan Hall, we got Hobo Roadie, we've got Michael Krause in the house. We've got Zach Dong. We've got Sarah Swift saying hi. Dwight Bailey stopped by. by to say hi. Dwight Bailey was also joined by Randy Crooks, who hung out and said, hey, I'm handy, Randy. And then back there, we've also got McCollum Music. I hope I didn't already say. And then I'm trying to go back. Hobo Roadie and other people that joined us so early that I couldn't scroll that far.
Paul McNeary was with us earlier. Michael Krause came in a little late, but he was here, and we appreciate that. Symmetry was here.
Metalworks.
Blue Mox was in the chat a whole bunch. Eddie Fay was here. So everyone, thank you. If we didn't mention you,
Guitar Man, Bo, Shark Puppet Boy, Patrick Trites, Eddie Fay.
There you go.
Yep, I'm just trying to get back up here because all you guys, like, we're very lucky, dude. We should have a banquet.
You do.
Oh, Seth, you banquet. All right.
With that,
shut it off.
Everyone have a great week. We'll see you this weekend on Chatting with Charles. Our guest is Billy Baloney. And then make sure you stop by Wednesday for Praying with Play.
Actually, tomorrow morning, Charles.
And then we'll play with Presley's.
Tomorrow morning, I'm going to go randomly live and build my guitar. I'm going to set it all up, and it's going to be a random build, I think. But we're just going to see. Well, maybe.
So keep a lookout for that, folks. Everyone, until next time, thank you.
Come on, people. Charles and me about to take you on guitar safari. So turn on your computer, turn on your phone, 'cause it's about to go down. One volume, one tone. Yeah, Charles and me about to take you on guitar safari. Turn on your computer and turn